to be fair. Good evening, everyone. I have a motley crew with me tonight. We've got, you don't know it, but we've got Brandon in the corner. Oh my God, you picked up a cat. I'm not even introducing you anymore, Lyle. My nemesis.
It's a motley crew, Brad.
It is a motley crew.
We're going to get like a 50% increase in likes because of that cat.
Let's get ready.
Absolutely.
The internet loves cats.
So,
and apparently Lyle likes gun-toting sheep.
okay,
Pokemon with guns.
You know what? We're starting with this because I didn't know. As usual, since I don't have any ability because I'm an old man, I have no idea what's popular, what's going on. He's like, "Have you heard about fucking
Palworld?"
Yeah, I thought he said POW. I'm like, what's POW? And he's like, PAL, PAL. And I'm like, what the fuck is PAL? And he's like, Pokemon with machine guns, open world. And I'm like, what is this?
Did you see that PETA's protesting that now too?
I did. I didn't know it existed until like 2 seconds ago.
This is the greatest thing in gaming history as far as I'm concerned.
And apparently it's the most downloaded game ever on Steam.
This game might lose its appeal in 2 weeks, and I don't care. It's going to be like the beginning of Pokemon Go. Those first 2 weeks are going to be memorable. All right.
I didn't know this thing existed at all, and then I'm just watching the Palworld official trailer, and it just has dudes just jumping, gatting people. I'm like, this is some sort of like.
Why don't you play the trailer so people know what you're talking about?
You know what?
Are we allowed to do that? I have no idea.
Yeah, screw it. Let's play the trailer. Give me a second here. I'll play the trailer. Fuck it. Hold, please. I gotta set this up now.
I haven't played it at all, but apparently you can
asked Brad to do something with technology while we were doing technology.
I know. I wasn't fucking ready.
This could be frightening.
I wasn't ready, guys.
You should know better, Brad.
I should know always better. Palworld. I have to pull it up again because I have it on.
KR's out here trying to be a negative Nancy, saying they're going to get sued. Let me tell you, this game has been announced for 3 months. People have been waiting on this game. Nintendo knew exactly the day it was going to drop. If they were going to send a cease and desist letter, they would have done it a long time ago. All right?
Well, there was a modder who I think is going to get banned because
that guy might get in trouble because he specifically is stealing assets from Nintendo. I don't know if they could touch the actual game itself, though. But we'll see.
All right, we're gonna.
You can capture other humans and cut them up into meat and feed them to your Pokemon.
What is even happening around here? What is wrong with you guys?
You can put other humans in your Pokeballs.
This seems.
It's animal cruelty, hunting, slavery. Cannibalism.
What is
like,
going
I just
on?
saw
You know what?
We're protesting it and everything. I was like, all right,
sure.
This must be a good game.
We're gonna watch part of this trailer, and then we'll probably watch a trailer for the Dataslate. Oh, I'm sorry, there isn't one. Watch PAL. Hold on, we're jumping past here. I want guns. The tree holds the truth. All right, go to where they're shooting hit people in that. This is like the extended leak.
This is the Dataslate, everyone. You're now going to be able to bring a chicken to your game. Okay.
Perfect.
This is what we're all going to do while we wait for the Dataslate.
Palworld. Again, I didn't know that this was even a thing. There we go. You instead of catch them all, shoot them all with that person just had a bazooka. What is even happening right now?
Like I said, I don't know how long
Why
this
are they
game will
also
be
playing
entertaining for,
random
but it's entertaining
Nintendo
right
music
now.
while they're doing it? This is the happiest joy music, and these people are just like murdering Pokemon.
So I swear to God, when you log in, the text and the music that cues when you log into the game sounds exactly like Breath of the Wild. Like, this is like just some weird like amalgamation of like everyone's favorite stuff. They've just fixed everything together. Because it's definitely got like Breath of the Wild elements. It's clearly got Pokemon elements, Rust, all kinds of survival games.
I don't even know what just happened. This just hurt my little brain. Like, I was not expecting the Pokemon. Hold on, this is super chats and stuff.
This weekend?
Apparently, I have to paint Kyle's models this weekend because the army he swore to me was battle ready for this team tournament we're going to showed up in primer.
Hold on.
So I don't know what the fuck.
Hold on, because I need to talk shit. Because you have your arch nemesis of Blood Angels going. Kenneth Smith coming to the $4.99 super chat. No BDS equal one more week to the reign of Brother Corbulu. Beware.
Here's what Corbolo could do. He is entitled to reign over the inside of my colon as I collect every Corbolo medal in the world and shove it up my own ass. Because that's where they belong. It's up the colon and around the corner. Okay?
Corey's going to get me canceled. No, I did not say that.
I believe Corey on this one.
But let's talk about how much I was not happy with GW this morning. And so when I changed my whole schedule about coaching and everything else, everybody's like, of course we want to wait until we have a data slate up. You know what I'm really afraid of, everyone, is that they had a data slate ready to go. And then they were like, you know what? I think we goofed. Let's just make last minute changes with no testing, no anything, and hope for the best. Roll the fucking dice and see what happens.
What I think the most likely scenario is they had a bunch of different things that they were ready to put out there, and they were going to decide what needed to get hit based on what happened to LVO, which is absurd to me, but I think that's what's going on. Is that they're waiting for the LVO data slate to like release this, which means that they want to use that as evidence for their decision.
LVO data made nothing. There was no new anything that came from LVO.
Exactly. But there were armies that didn't show up as much as people thought they would. And so I feel like they're going to use that as an excuse to not do stuff.
I mean, just not going to do anything to CSM? Cool.
Yeah.
Especially when they
didn't win LVO. I mean, yeah. Eldar didn't win, so clearly they need to be buffed.
Both need to be buffed. I agree with you, Brandon. CSM and Eldar need point decreases and mechanical increases. So everybody look forward to that.
Eldar clearly doesn't have enough models in GW's eyes because, if you can deep strike a monolith, they don't have enough things to strike.
Jesus Christ.
So they're clearly gonna make Eldar cheaper.
Yeah, but maybe they were just using epic models, and those are really small.
Look, if you listen to the internet, the only thing that mattered was that he double sixed on the monolith.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
my opponent's good luck is more important than my. Yeah, whatever. We're not going down that road. Look, Folger did great to get that far. If he brain farted on turn one, then we've all brain farted on a turn and lost a game.
I brain farted on multiple turns. Thank you very much.
Jealous of. I am envious of Folger managing to pull that off. It's amazing and super props to him.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that one.
It was a good time too. I have to give a little props to the Rio. While I still don't like them being off the strip, the Rio was better than it was before. And I'm going to give it second props to Mike. The terrain was wildly better than it was last year. Like wildly better.
I really like their new, Karst Outpost table. I like that. That makes me happy. I think that's some of the best terrain they've had competitively.
Well, it's very it's very usable. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's functional terrain. Brandon Kerr goes, I think they waited to make bikes great again. What do you think about that, buddy? Is it going to be a bike data slate?
No.
Brandon gave me an even saltier for Brandon text this morning, which was, they're going to nerf Marines more than Eldar, and it's going to piss me off.
Look, Brandon, it's okay because you're going to be able to play Dark Angels, and you can play all the bikes you want in the amazing new Dark Angels Codex that's coming out.
Wow. I am always Mr. Positive about 40K stuff as far as things coming out. Man, everything that they've showed us about that DA Codex so far has been I don't even know if I want to go with bag of dicks or tornado of dicks, but it was
dumpster fire.
Ooh, 290.
So again, this is
I
where I'm
know.
gonna go with every book that's come out. The points in the Ministarm, whatever, in 1 minute in the manual of points, have been vastly different from what the book was.
Yeah, because if not, I mean, they nerfed their weapons, they upped their points, and they took away command squads, which is bullshit. Exactly. My disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined. Do I have that meme up? Hold, please. I might have that already ready to go. But man, not having anything out today in DI Codex.
Freya, can you confirm what Corey said? I feel like this is an accurate statement, but can you confirm?
What? I would use them. You know what? I'm giving you guys a Ric Flair really quick. Maybe even a sweep the leg, Johnny. But God damn it, I can't find my day is ruined. I was so excited to talk with everybody that I coach, everybody that's around. I planned on doing 2 streams today.
I was prepared to talk. I was prepared to talk earlier today.
Yeah,
I had my work prepared for me to go live at the drop of a hat.
So hell.
Look, man, I was ready to lock all my kids in a closet at school and get on this live stream with you guys, and that just didn't materialize.
I was so excited to talk about this. Also, again, why are we waiting? What the is happening right now?
So my guess on the wait, and in all honesty, is there was a few things that they were like, all right, let's see how a few of these things play out at LVO to see if we need to hit them as hard as we think we do. And then they went, all right, well, let's make some minor adjustments to a few other things while we're at it.
I agree with most of what you're saying, except for the word minor, because I don't feel like that goes in GW.
Just going to make some major changes. Look, guys, we've had a bunch of time to talk about it, but instead, let's just slap something together in 3-4 days, throw it at the community, and see what happens.
My favorite part was apparent because GW does like their social media spread every day, and all the stuff they're putting out there on like Facebook, whatever today. Every single comment was, "When's the data slate? When's the data slate? When's the data slate?" To the point where they're very clearly stressed out and overworked unpaid intern was like, "Dude, I don't know shit. Like, I don't know. Please stop. I don't know anything." And by like lunchtime Eastern Standard, they were like, "Next week. It's coming out next week. Please stop asking." But that guy was very clearly like he did not understand what was going to happen when he woke up this morning.
He was bummed. He's like, "Look, man, I'm leaving right now." Just all of the. So basically, this week we've had what looks to be a floating turd for DA and no data slate. So it's time to be salty, kids. I like it. We'll really work on that today.
I mean, number one, I'm not going to be salty about DA, right? Without seeing the point adjustments, there's got to be a build there. There's something there. Every book has had something and some build.
The codexes have been great so far.
Hold on a second. Is that true though? Because the person who won best AdMech at LVO came in like 293rd place. So is there a build for everybody?
I still think that there's something there. The problem is like the AdMech build is difficult. It's also expensive. So a lot of people can't. It's an
expensive model in real life.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of hobby life that goes on with AdMech.
The army list that Brad and I worked on for a little bit and chit-chatted back and forth about at retail was like $1,850.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And that's assuming the models were available.
And Joe Money's got it. He goes, CSM underperformed and several poor factions underperformed at LVO. Does that really change their opinion?
No. He's phrasing the question wrong. He said, would that change their opinion? The question that he's trying to ask is, should that change their opinion? Because we all know that the question of would it change their opinion, entirely possible.
Entirely possible.
Also, Corey, thanks for the mojo.
I think part of it is they look at the data from tournaments across everything. If you listen to them in the way that they're gathering their data, they're looking at everything from the terrain layout used at the event, if it has a player pack. The bigger events, they're looking at the attendance, the percentage of armies there, the percentage of what units in the armies. They're making good, from the sounds of things, they're making good data point decisions. They may not be perfect or 100% accurate on everything, but I think the last data slate, they light touched a lot of things and left a lot of things alone that were kind of problem childs, but not quite.
I I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Horn. I thought you were stopping.
No, you're good.
I will agree that I think GW has done more in the last 2-3 years to make me think they're capable of a series of light touches until they get it exactly right than I would have given you credit to believe back when I started playing at 7th edition, where there was only hammers. That was it. There was no light touches.
Well, they were fucking like General Grievous.
But now I'm just irritated because I feel like the 6-month schedule does not work, and I'm not happy with this. I feel like they're waiting too long to figure stuff out.
I love that. GW is like, if you don't zone out a monolith and you boxcar out saves and it appears busted, GW slams the nerf button.
And I'm going to go, if that army properly screened, that game probably would have been entirely different. And everybody would be like, oh, you got to nerf Eldar more. So, I mean...
Yeah, I'm sure if they play 10 times, there's only one time where the monolith hits that deep straight. Yeah. Like, that monolith is getting screened out most of the time.
But I don't know. I feel that they already had enough data and everything else to go. And I think there's several people that they shouldn't be touching at all. I think Sisters are in a great spot. I think Orcs are in a fantastic spot. I actually think Death Guard's in a fantastic spot. I
think there's tons of stuff they don't need to touch. And then there's stuff that they need to bring up. And then there's a minor amount of units they need to bring down.
Yeah, but the thing is you don't want to bring down stuff in armies that are already performing in the sweet spot, like the ones I was saying about. Like, I really wouldn't mess with that because it can have, again, big synergy issues. And the things that are at the top, you have to touch. And then I think that we have to... I still don't know what the Drakari fix is, because I think that you just have to make them their own thing.
And put them in the Legends. They'll be all right.
Just Legends them like your cabinet?
Okay, all right.
Can we just replace Brandon's picture with like a pile of salt? I feel like that would be easier. Yeah, there's various people talking about suggested rumored changes to Dataslate in the chat. Unfortunately, they're so inconsistent that I don't think any of us can give any veracity to any one more than the other. So we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Here's a big
Monday. That's a great question. The question is LVO more reflective of player placed terrain or the new Necrons affecting the meta? I really think it's player placed.
Yeah, it is both, because Necrons did have effect, but it's more player placed terrain. The Warhound guy with 3/3, that's amazing.
That's great.
I don't think that they need to do a whole lot to Necrons. I don't think Necrons are busted. I think that Necrons have some bad matches.
I don't think Necrons have enough data yet to make any changes.
100%.
I think that would be presumptuous. The only thing I could argue is, like, if you wanted to make changes on, like, maybe Catan specifically, I would let you do it, but that would be about it.
Sure, but like there's both those lists have things that are just not great for them. Like the Hyperphase list, like, does have issues if you just can grind it out quickly. You know what I mean? If you're just playing an aggressive list and you're not dancing around with them, that can fall apart, man.
I'm still surprised that it did as well as it did against the Tyranids. I thought that list was a good potential counter to that list.
This doesn't have enough damage, I think, is the problem. And I think he did play... They played really, really passive 40k on that. I think that he should have just ran at him, to be honest with you. If he would have just taken the board and just swamped it, I think he was trying to play too cute, to be honest with you. You're just, again, against an army that has infinite movement because of the being able to pick things up and move them everywhere, you just have to grind out and just go, hey, I'm making it so you can't get any objectives. And you can do that really easily with that many models.
Yeah, the things I think they need to hit for Necrons is I actually think they just need to hit the Satans. Because if you were leaving Gilliman at 400 points or whatever ridiculousness he's at right now, a Satan should be on par.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, KR goes, 30 Immortals are good for a Swarm, who knew? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is why you can't play thing, because he just picked him up because of the volume of shots. So you just need to push out and just tell that.
He was also running Spine Fists, which is... I don't think the ideal, personally, I don't think it's the ideal weaponry for him in that list. And he didn't have a Turvagon, which I think helps out a lot with lethal hits. So
Yeah, but I agree on what Plus is saying. He goes, Necrons have to be durable, though, or else they have literally no army rules since people just delete them. Because, like, if you're playing Orcs, CSM, stuff like that, you can delete Immortals with a quickness. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're just one wound dudes at T5 with a 3-up
I
set.
think there's still plenty. If you make Catan somehow either less, if you make them less desirable to be in the list for whatever way you want to go about it, there's still going to be plenty of things that are obnoxiously durable in Necrons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not just Catan.
Which is
Catan
which is
are both
fine.
durable
That's just what they're
and
supposed to
killing.
be.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. You know what I mean?
I would be fine if there was like a limit on how many Catan you could put in a list or something like that. I
mean, it's just I played against that though. It's just like if you just slam the objectives with multiple bodies, it's really hard for them to do something about it. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? Because
I mean, but is playing Necrons like playing GSC, where it's like there's just this one very specific, unintuitive play pattern that you have to do? Or
no, I think that the Necrons versus Orcs, Necrons versus Tyranids, if you push the board, Necrons versus GSC, they can do tons of damage, but they just have a hard time just getting you the hell off the objective, to be honest with you. Because if you can touch those Immortals fairly early, if you've got ways to extend the board out, which a lot of these armies do. You advance and charge, auto 6s, world eaters, things of that nature. You can play for the late game as Necrons, but you're not going to steal the objectives early. You know what I mean? Because they've got enough bodies to just blanket carpet the middle objectives on their home.
Yeah, I don't think you need to affect the durability of the Catan. I just think they need to be more points. I just think they're a little too inexpensive.
Custodes. Whoa.
What if we make every Catan go up 30 points? So you just have to cut all of your destroyers that do actions.
Then you would just not score. that would be awesome.
So the Lion and the Codex is pointed at 365 points, and
so much.
The Catan is how much?
265.
I would say 100 points less.
I really think the Catan should be in the realms of 350. If they're going to keep them where they're at, I think their point value is just way too low.
How about you make the Lion not so expensive? I want to see the Lion on the board. God damn it!
I want to see the Lion and Gilliman in the 250 range. So
it's just...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like is it Angron 360?
I have to look. 415.
415. I feel like Angron's the most close approximation to a Catan. Because he's weirdly durable and he comes back.
But Angron does insanity damage, but also just comes back once or twice. You're like, that seems good value.
I mean, there's games where it comes back 3 times. Like, I've seen it myself.
Yeah, it's just bunker stuff.
That would probably be the closest, like, Primarch approximation. Because you have that absurd damage and reliable durability.
I'm telling you that there's so much other stuff that's in that book that's good. Exactly, 1+. Just take more Tomb Blades. Tomb Blades are awesome. Volume of Fire with Mortals, baby.
I'm very surprised that we haven't seen anyone running your list yet, Brad. Like, I thought people would just go there, and I wonder if it's a model availability issue. Because, like, I have not seen anyone with 12 bikes or 12 Tomb Blades.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Because
everyone's definitely going towards a Catan. I think your list was like 18 race, 12 bikes, right?
The Tomb Blades are currently available, as far as I know, pretty much across the board. At least they were on GW's website this week. So that army, the hard part to get right now is the Catans.
Not if you just 3D print those bad boys.
Yeah, they're a very high 3D print choice.
Also, you can customize them.
3D print. A lot of people have random models. I forgot who it is that used to make like the really cool demon princes.
Creature Caster.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have Creature Caster style Catans also. So they just
on that, as you guys brought up that the 3D print thing, do we think with the ITC falling underneath the GW run side of things that they may ask tournament organizers to limit 3D printing?
No. It's impossible.
All that ruling would do would just limit which prints people would sell. Because, like, if you want to go find a print that looks exactly like a GW model, you can find it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to be able to really easily check that in a tournament.
At the Warhammer World Championships, they allow 3D printing.
Yeah.
They don't have... If they actually had the ability to sell you things, it would be a little bit different, too. You know, like, hey man, I would use your product except for the fact that you won't give it to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would not be surprised. I mean, I say this. Maybe it's. I want to say that I would not be surprised if they eventually sold like STLs for like guns. It'd be like, oh, here's plasma gun STL, and you can buy our plasma gun. And they get some money out of it. But at the same time, I also would assume that they would have sold PDFs of Dataslate or PDFs of codexes, and they don't do that anymore. So
They don't
maybe
even
that's
sell the
giving them too
digital
much
codes
credit.
for you to use their app.
Yeah. So maybe that's not something they want to do.
I don't think they'll sell STLs of weapons because they're limiting what weapons models can actually have. Like they're doing it, whatever comes in the box is the only thing you can take.
well, that's because of the lawsuit. They had I don't know if it's just straight England or whether it was Europe, but they effectively said that they had to put everything that you could take in that box, kind of thing. So now when they basically make rules, they make a sprue and then they make rules for that sprue.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're not going to sell STLs for cyclonic ion blasters because they're not in the crisis suit box.
Exactly.
If anything, they'll just get rid of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree here on both the things. David goes, man, I have 3D printed extra guns because I would love to buy them, but they don't have them. And the other thing is that they are wildly protective of their IP, so I would be shocked if they sold STLs, even though I do think it's a good idea.
In my mind, GW has a lot of different opportunities where it's kind of like, as a former Magic player, we always talked about that Magic Online just gave Wizards of the Coast an opportunity to just print money at will because you're selling events based on a digital product that has no actual value. And so they're literally just supplementing their income with something that costs them virtually nothing. You're just paying the developers to develop the game. I'm sure there are ways GW could look at doing something like that, but it has to be something
what's
they want to
wild
do.
to me right now is so many people are using the app and everything else for their stuff. I don't understand why they're not just making that a subscription-based thing and not that stupid buy a book, get a code, unlock the thing. Just make it a monthly fee and you get all, access to everything, and you'll just get sustained revenue forever and ever and ever. You know what I mean?
$9.95 a month.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't even matter. It's just like make it the subscription based. And you'll also get people I would literally pay the subscription and then go buy the books that I like, because I want to have the lore in there. So I just think it's one of those weird things where I don't get it, because it's fine now, but you're going to get farther down the road when you can't look at enough things, and then the app's not going to mean anything to you because you can't use it to reference like your opponent's armies and stuff. And that's a big deal.
Yeah. I think the short version of it is I don't have confidence that GW is not just a bunch of old boomers in charge that don't understand how to take advantage of the changing technology of our time. I think they're just like super behind the curve on it.
They did promote and hire a new CEO a few years ago. They've got a lot of new younger staff in, and a lot of the older guard have moved to supervisory positions of, like talking about the lore and things along that line. They're not quite as involved in the age isn't really the issue that it once was with that.
But do those people still have to kind of give permission for projects to be enacted? I don't know.
It's kind of a weird half and half, to be honest with you right now.
Yeah. But everything for them is really about like their big focus right now is their IP, because that's where they're making buku bucks and like astronomical sums of money.
Well, I do want to go to the wall real quick because everybody's talking about this, because like David was like, hey, books like 500% profit, they own all the content and they're selling out. And then other people were like, yeah, just, make that. But the thing is I agree with both on this, because I would still buy physical books of the ones that I want. You know what I mean? Because I still like that. But it gives you options for things. You know what I mean?
If I could buy just the code, like you guys said, for the armies that I casually play, I would be way more likely to buy the collector's edition of the armies I like. Like, I would be way more likely to spend extra money on the special physical books if I could just buy the data when I needed it for the app.
Yeah, I mean, it's just annoying for me to have to buy the books that I don't want to look at them in the app. And I don't want the app to become irrelevant. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, you just can't look at most of the other armies.
You're
just not using it.
So to sound silly. Their app doesn't have a limited number of users, right? It doesn't. It is username, password, login. I've got it on all my devices, so it's on 7 devices.
It's a little more complicated than that, though, Brian, because I
Yeah.
tried to do what you're suggesting with Heidi, because
Yeah.
she plays very casually, and so I tried to have my app logged in on her phone so she could look at the data or look at the data sheets without having to buy a codex. But because most phones now are associated with an email account, if the email account on your phone is not directly the one that is associated with your app, it doesn't jive.
Okay.
Like she couldn't pull up my account the way she should have been able to because her phone has her email address, but the app had my email address, so something wasn't working. So I think they've done something there.
And the thing is Crowley's got a great point when he just goes, why don't they just sell codes for just the app? You know what I mean? For the thing, you don't get everything else with it. It just, I don't know. I feel like we could just be. It is an old man that never fucking cancels any subscription until it's 6 months late. I would just be paying for this forever, and so many people would just be giving them recurring revenue. So,
you know what they need to do? We need to do the GW version of that American Airlines deal. That like the guy in the '90s bought like lifetime miles for like $600,000, and now he's like flown, 6 billion miles or some shit. We need to be able to like GW. Here's like this giant stack of money. I want everything you ever make online for the next like 10 years. And people would fucking do it. People would absolutely do it.
I mean, we'd also probably buy models from them if they gave us the opportunity to buy those models. I mean, that seems like the basic line that we're not getting either. Like, hey man, I'd use your models. You know what'd be cooler? If you had them to sell.
Yeah, if you ever want to read a very interesting article, read about lean manufacturing, and you'll understand why GW doesn't have enough models.
Somebody tell me about the scalpers, because KR said that they end in the death. Scalpers are openly mocking them.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that I saw in a lot of places yesterday or whatever happened that there were people that were in like a 30 to 40 minute queue, and then like the website went down and all queues paused for 20 minutes, and then people came back and were in queue for 20 minutes and still couldn't buy it. So whatever their system was,
what
apparently
happened
wasn't
is,
working
Brad,
great.
So GW, so when the limited edition book came out, scalpers bought a whole bunch of them and were bragging, posting on eBay saying, I'm going to sell for $300, whatever. So GW is like, oh, well, we'll just, cancel any books that are going to the same address. So they canceled a whole bunch of orders and they wanted to resell them. Well, then the scalpers were challenged and then they just rebought all the books back.
Also, like if the scalpers could just have wild badgers released in their homes, that would be awesome.
Hey Brad, we send these guys in.
Those guys just ruin shit. And KR, he goes, the app that works, baby steps. I just don't want, they finally have an app that works and I just don't want it to be fucked in the future. You know what I mean? Because of them making it so that everybody doesn't want to use it. And I go back to the scalper thing. I still hope they get mauled by the honey badger every morning. They literally get out of bed, go to brush their teeth, and a honey badger jumps out of the cabinet and mauls them every day.
Ooh, wait, I want to answer Meta Monday's question in chat. So Meta Monday had a Tau question that goes with the 3D printing and the weapon availability that Brandon was talking about. He wants to know if Tau Crisis suits went down to 1 CIB per model, but also went down 10 points per model. Would they be dead or would they be still good? I think they would be busted. I do. Because if you look at Kyle Grundy's list, who I believe finished the year best Tau for ITC, and he was the top finishing Tau player at LVO, his big brick of dudes only had 1 cyclic. He was running cyclic plasma, and then he was running triple cyclic on his Farsight unit, but it's also very common to see that unit be like cyclic fusion or triple fusion. So like you could get away with however you wanted to do it there. You would just have to kind of tool things around. I think if you drop crisis suits from 360 to 300 for a unit of 6, you would see a huge resurgence in Tau players for sure.
Yeah,
I have a bigger concern. My concern is that cyclic ion blasters are just going away, except for 0-1 for a commander, and that crisis suits themselves will have 0-1 of each weapon. Because
Right.
if you look at the frame, it's
Only burst
one
cannons.
of each weapon.
Yeah. So my immediate response to that is it's Brandon's idea, so I just assume it's not going to happen. Because Brandon's so negative about everything he loves. I don't know how to process it. Like he loves Tal, and I don't know what to do if they would happen. It would be bad.
It wouldn't surprise me if in a crisis brick you could have, for every 3 models, you can have 3 burst cannons, 3 plasma cannons, 3 of this, 3 of that, 3 of this, because of the way the box is designed.
They would be dead on arrival.
Yeah.
I think that's not true.
I think
Because
you're
you're
100%.
in a world where they're exactly the same points and they do that, sure. But why? What reason do we have to think that you would make that change and then also leave their points at 60 points per model?
I don't think they would.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to see anything until a new codex comes out, which is going to be what?
A month to month and a half, supposedly.
Yep.
And here, you know what? Let's talk about the real news here. Or not news, but things we got to work on. So now that we don't have a data slate, we can't use the data slate for us going to Kung Fu Master Death Punch 3000 5-man team tournament in North Carolina somewhere.
It's called ATC North Carolina. This is not that hard.
Yeah. Whatever. So like I said,
way better.
So now we were going to choose based on, the data slate, what we were going to bring. Now we're playing the same old because GW hates fun and sunshine and puppies.
And as a result of that, Kyle is having an anxiety attack in chat all day with me. And Kyle needs us to decide if we're just taking the 5 best busted armies or if we're going to stick to our guns.
Because I was so excited. I thought maybe I'd get the orc book by now. They're holding out on me. But we have 5 armies that we have to take. What should we be taking?
So here's what we need to do, Brett. I need you to start a vote. I need the choices to be Chaos Demons, Death Guard.
Oh my God, there's too many. I don't have as many options as you want here. There's like 20 options you're gonna take.
Well, I know Kyle finished the year as the #1 demon player in the world, so I feel like that should be on the table.
Fine. 100%. Our team options.
No, these are for Kyle specifically.
Yeah,
just for Kyle.
Right now. Just for Kyle.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And KR, I'm actually building crew right now, so
Kyle's
I am super excited about crew.
Face.
And when crisis suits get inevitably nerfed, I'll just start running a whole crew.
All right. Option number 1, the Guard of Death. Option number 2, demons of anything or just straight demons.
I mean, I told him specifically Zeech demons because I think that would be hilarious. But I mean, I think he's demon mix. Yeah.
What's my third option?
We could probably make him play Necrons with 0 practice.
Does he even have access to it?
I mean, we'd have to bring it to him.
I mean,
but you have access to it. Snakes. So.
Something.
Or the third option should be the first person that can drive Kyle an army, whatever they bring up.
How about this? Something else. There you go. Something else is going to win this.
There we go.
You should play Custodes.
Custodes for sure.
God, no.
I'm voting for something else.
Brad, what are you going to play?
I think I'm going to play orcs.
Great. So what's your team?
Tom? It's Tom, the Kalile, Brandon, and myself.
What's the Tom plan?
Tom's going to play the only thing he knows how to play right this second.
I've been pitching Black Templar, the Ben Sherwin's, I'm sorry, Black Templar's LVO list to Tom. I don't know if he decided he wants to do it or not. Otherwise, it'll be the Vanguard list.
The Vanguard list with Marnius and the Scent Devs and all that shit.
If you haven't seen Sherwin's list, Brad, it's 100% a Tom list.
True. I actually think he would have such a good time playing that list.
Yeah. I feel like Tom needs to be able to have fun with his list. So.
I mean, no one wants to play the triple Night Spinner Nightmare. That's the whole thing. You just don't.
I don't think the triple Night Spinner is that great in teams.
It is because of the fact that you can really take its bad matchups away and just really murder in pairings. It's better in 8s than it is in 5s, but it's still.
That's what I'm
annoying.
saying. In 5s, it doesn't seem quite as good.
But I mean, think about it though. Do you ever really want to play 3 Night Spinners? It's super annoying still.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know how you build a team where every list on that team is immune to night spinners.
Yeah, they're
That would be
irritating.
difficult. Yeah.
And it's also somebody that can high roll you with it. You're just like, hey man, is that a twin link with devastating wounds? Sweet.
Be a shame if you had to kill 210 guns with 3 night spinners.
You don't know. I've seen Eldar.
So our original ideas, and I think this is one we're up to, like, do we need to evaluate if we need to change this or not? Because, like, I have 1 weekend to practice an army if I need to. I have an RTT Saturday. That's it. That's all I got. So we were originally going to go Marines, Orcs. I think Brandon was always going to do Tau, unless Brandon decided he wanted to play Sisters, but I don't think that was really on the table. Death Guard and World Eaters. That was our original idea. Because we assumed Death Guard or World Eaters were pretty unlikely to get nerfed. And so we thought they would be safe.
I'm surprised you're not doing Necrons.
I mean, that was something Brad and I talked about. We kind of debated Necrons versus World Eaters in that spot. It's whatever. Like, I could take it if I have to. Necrons I'm good enough at just standing there and not dying that I could probably figure it out. I've historically not loved Necrons just because they don't really fit what I like to do. They're a little more passive, and I like the ability to go aggressive. I have a tendency to play passive as a default, but I like to be able to, like, hit the accelerator at a random turn and go when I see the opening. Necrons don't really have or historically have not had a huge go button.
I'm gonna go.
Let
me go to the wall real quick, guys. I'm gonna go with Meta Monday. Can orcs in this meta play both sword and shield, or is there a better one in this moment? I think they're pretty hybrid. They can do both. For me, I'll end up playing a lot of defense, just because that's the way I play. And I've got other people that like to go YOLO swaggins and get big scores. I just tend to play to win first.
Yeah, for our team it's weird because the orcs are not. It's not an orcs question. It's a Brad question, and it doesn't matter what army Brad has. Brad's just gonna put himself down first, and then whoever the best person with the best list the other team offers, Brad's gonna pick that guy. It doesn't matter what they're playing.
Pretty much. I mean, true story historically. We go to the wall again. Corey's Necrons. I do think, Corey, you have some pretty go things on. It's also what we can get for Necrons. I don't think we have those models. They're really aggressive Necron stuff. The ATC is using GW style. GW format.
Yeah, Corey in chat, I want to say I added specifically the historically caveat. I have not historically loved Necrons because historically they've not had a go button. I understand right now it's a little bit different.
Imperial Knights.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly. I love that. Brad issues a heroic challenge. Yes. But still, one of my favorite is the first year, whatever. When I was playing with Austin, Nick, and the boys, Juice, and we won ATC before I was at Art of War, and the entire strategy for it was Brad, go get 30 because they were doing the max 50 points thing at the time, and he's just like, I don't care what you're playing. Here's what everybody else doesn't want to play into. Go get a 30. Figure it out. Just would constantly throw me into whatever. And I'm like, I don't ever max, though. So I think that's why.
I think from the chat is postulating a few things we could do. I think if we wanted to pivot at this point, we're not pivoting off Orcs, Tau, Marines. Like, those three are going. I don't know how we would not take those three. So it's kind of the Kalile that can be changed. So, like, I feel like we could probably find a Chaos Space Marine army if we wanted it.
3 units of Cursed Cultists, 3 Forge Feeds, 4 Obliterators, and the Dawn. Make it happen. And Nurglings.
I mean, I could just drive to Cleveland and pick up whatever we want from Minnick. Like, that's the thing. I could stop in Cleveland on the way and get Minnick's army. And he has all that stuff. So we could get that if we wanted it.
Also, we confirmed we just said that Tom's coming with us.
Tom's riding with me.
Okay, because we were like hoping that Tom's gonna make it at this right time. We're like, how's Tom getting there?
Yeah, Tom and I are going to drive together because I just don't want to pay for an airplane ticket. So he's going to drive with me to keep me company.
Luckily, it's close.
Yeah. Luckily, it's a drive I've made a large number of times, so it's fine. I don't mind
How many
driving.
times are you going to eat
Was it
Bojangles
like
while you're in
14,
North
15
Carolina?
hours for
The
you?
first time I see it, Brandon, for
My
sure.
God, you should go to a freaking support fucking group for that. So,
You know where all those support groups are? In North Carolina, where we're going.
so Lyle, when he sees a Bojangles, starts to fucking have spasms, and he's like drawn like it's a black hole, and he can't pull away from its gravitation, and you have to go to the Bojangles.
I look, man. I lived in North Carolina for 30 years. I have very specific things I like. I like Bojangles Cajun filet biscuits. I like the bow rounds. You know, I want to stop and get some when I have the chance. The closest one is in West Virginia. I don't get to go very frequently.
So I just want you to know that something else is really running away with the poll so far.
I haven't looked at the poll. You're saying something else. I understand.
No, really.
Okay.
The four choices are. Also, the poll is called Kyle's dumb face options.
So we could give Kyle World Eaters as to something else because he's played World Eaters in several tournaments before, so he could do that. And then we have to find something for me. So for me, it would then either probably be Chaos Space Marines or Necrons, I assume.
Imperial Knights.
Sure. You want me to play Imperial Knights? I'll play Imperial Knights, Brandon. But that's just because you don't want anyone else to be happy. That's all it is.
How many crew can you fit in a Tau army?
60.
Yeah, that's the legal max.
60, 36
Well, I
hours,
guess
right?
120 if you count the Far Stalkers.
You could do the Far Stalkers too.
You could do 120 with Far Stalkers. You could do
They
another.
come in squads of 10 plus 2 crew
The
down.
Far Stalkers are 12, 10 plus 2 hounds. Yeah. So you could do 120 total, and then you can start adding characters and crew hounds and crew tox riders.
How are you getting 120? It's 60 plus
60
72,
crew plus
72.
3. Oh no, the Far Stalkers, are they a battle line unit? Am I wrong about that?
No, they're not battle line. Crew
Okay,
are not
yeah.
crew are not
Yeah,
battle
so
line.
96 plus hounds and characters and crew tox riders.
Crude aren't battle line.
Yeah, but the Far Stalkers.
Whoa, Necrons have just got tied with something else. I love One Plus coming in. Common misconception: the supermassive black holes will rip you apart. It's actually the solar mass black holes that are the scary ones. I hope I don't encounter either of them, to be perfectly honest with you. On my flight to North Carolina, either black hole would probably be a real bummer for me getting there.
You might encounter the Langoliers.
Yeah.
You got this.
What happened? Brad's going to be delayed because of the black hole he encountered on the way down to North Carolina.
I actually did think about David. You could take so many infantry in Tau, and it'd be so annoying to deal with.
Hmm?
How many,
I know the list Ziegler's been running has 100 infantry before he starts adding crisis.
how many
suits.
devilfish do you have?
Do I personally own? I own 3.
I have
That's
probably 2 or 3.
fucking weak sauce. We could just jam like breachers and crew, max out everything.
I mean, Grundy's list is basically that. It's 20 breachers, 10 pathfinders, 22 crew, 6 stealth suits. Like, it's just got all the infantry dudes in it.
I just feel like you keep telling me that Solomon Grundy's taking something. I'm just like,
That's his name, right? I'm not wrong. That's his name, right?
Solomon Grundy?
No, Kyle. His last name is Grundy, right? Am I talking about
Born
the
on
right
a
person?
Monday?
So yeah, okay. Back to the team, Brad. We got to focus you in, okay?
I'm singing Solomon Grundy in my head now is what I'm doing.
Do we want me and Kyle, based on the poll, do we want me and Kyle to take Necrons and World Eaters, or World Eaters and Chaos Space Marines?
CSM's still the best list. The cursed cultists are broken.
Okay. So then if we're just taking the best list we want to, then we have to take Chaos Space Marines and World Eaters, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we gotta. So
and
we
then we
find me a
put-
Chaos Space
And
Marine
then
army
we
by
put Brandon
Saturday.
on maximum infantry tile.
I'm sure if you get a hold of Minnick, he can help you out.
Yeah, the problem is, I have to drive 4 hours to get it from him, and then drive 4 hours back to play it in an RTT on Saturday. That's the hard part. If I wanna
That sounds like a
practice it.
you problem, not
Yeah,
a
it is. Yeah.
I love that, Corey. Don't act like that would scare you. I've seen your browser history.
Yeah, Kyle, unlike you, I actually do have screenshots to prove I'm telling the truth.
I love
So,
it. I love when Kyle goes, Lyle makes it sound like I call him in panic, crying and lost in the woods. I simply asked, what should we play now? You know what? In my mind, you will always be crying and lost in the woods.
Yeah. I want to be very clear. When we went to ATC this past summer, it was Kyle's first time being on a team event. And Kyle spent weeks just bitching to me because he was in charge of his team and he didn't know anybody and no one would give him lists on time and nobody would respond to him in a timely manner. I was like, dude, I totally understand why that would be frustrating. What I didn't understand until Kyle was placed on a team I was the captain of was that none of Kyle's timetables were reasonable. Like, Kyle's just a crazy person and is mad that everyone else isn't bending knee to his whims. That's the issue.
I mean, you should have known that I wasn't going to be on time with anything.
Yeah, Kyle wanted to know why you hadn't bought an airplane ticket like 3 months before the event. I was like, have you never met Brad? I don't understand.
I usually try to figure out how I'm getting to an event about the same week as the event. So
yeah, we got you. You bought an airplane ticket like 3 weeks ahead of time. That's amazing.
I feel
I don't know what he was smoking.
I'm a hardcore adult about this.
Yeah. My wife is screaming at me on the internet about how loud I am right now.
Because you are loud.
So I apologize, viewers.
Sorry, and I can't individually change this. I mean, I probably could, but I don't know how. So I'm just going to say with I can't.
I also want to throw my wife under the bus real quick. That she's mad that I'm talking, not because I'm too loud for her house, but because she's watching a different stream than ours and I'm interrupting it.
This is bullshit.
She's not even supporting us.
This is weak sauce. Heidi, you're dead to me.
Brad says you're dead to him, Heidi. We can't hear you anymore. You're a ghost.
Unless she gets a sheep with a machine gun, then she's cool. Also true, and he goes, Brad books flights 2 weeks before the event and arrives a week early. I've also been known to do that.
Yeah. All right, so who in the greater Detroit, Toledo area can give me a Chaos Space Marine army tomorrow? Because that would be really helpful.
The entire thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. All 2,000 points, please. I can promise that I am way more likely to return it in pristine condition than Brad. So
That is true.
Love it. I love everything about this. The machine sheep, yeah. It's
they're straight up
Palworld.
sheeping.
It's just murdering Pokemon. It's apparently a new game. Hey, Stephen O in the house. And Cindery in the house.
So, yeah, anybody in chat who wants to supply Chaos Space Marine Army, message Brad, and then he'll probably tell me about it next Thursday night at midnight as I'm packing up to leave for North Carolina.
Demons Cacaw totally made a comeback. They're winning.
Yes.
All right, Kyle, you're playing Demons.
I would love to see Kyle play Demons. I want to see it. To be honest with you, I want to see it entire.
That is true. By the way, Corey lives right by me, and he literally has everything, but it's all unpainted. He has so much chaos. I don't have the ability to paint that. He has wild amounts of chaos.
Because the fact of the matter is, if we're making if we decide to make Kyle play World Leaders, I'm still going to have to paint his army for him before the event.
Well, you know what I do want to know? Because if I go over to Corey's to get chaos, instead of taking the chaos, we take his wild collection of giant monsters that he has, and I'm just going to use those as 40K models, and he'll have to run big bucks or something. There is a million.
Maybe I could reach out to who's the AFK guy? Ben Eisenhoff or something. Maybe he can.
Steven's like, I can provide any red or green demons you need. It's weird we don't have more CSM players around here. We do have more Tau players per square mile than anywhere else in the country.
It's true.
Very true.
Like, so bonkers town. Like, this isn't even played.
I don't know. There's a good straight corn demons list out there.
Champions of Sleep, Slayers of Dreams. That's our new team name, by the way.
We just need to get shirts with these sheep on them for our new jerseys.
Oh man, I love everything about this. What else are we going to after this?
So our current informal schedule is we have this event in February that we're going to, and then I don't think we're doing team stuff again until Adepticon. We had talked about going to ATC, and
we're doing the stuff for the Gemhammer guys down in Cincinnati.
That's after Adepticon in April.
Oh, no, I don't.
That's the same month as BFS, so I don't know what that's going to look like. And then I believe there is another event in May. I have all this. Hold on. I'm the designated team adult, as I was made the captain of the team. So now I got to go back and look at all my notes here. So we have Gemhammer in April. We have ATC in July. So there's nothing right now that we're for sure going to between April and July, but I'm sure we'll find some stuff.
Yeah, but like, what is my next? I got to figure out where I'm going after this. I feel like I have so many tournaments between now and Adepticon that I don't.
So I only have the list of the team events in front of me. So the next team event after we were thinking about going to 8TC in March. That was going to be our March event, but then you decided to go to Arkansas.
Oh no, I'm going to Arkansas. I got that.
Yeah, so that's why there's a gap in the schedule.
The Blake legitimately called me up and was like, "Hey, just letting you know that I'm going to murder you if you don't continue to," because I had already set up going to him.
Like, I want to be very clear. I'm not Brad's booking agent. I am the team designated adult. Okay, that is my official title.
What am I not going?
So there'll be some single stuff mixed in there.
And I'm going to other stuff. When are we going to BFS? When's BFS?
It's the same month as the Gemhammer one. So we
the
have
last weekend in April.
So we could go to both.
Let's just go to both.
Gemhammer is April 13th and 14th. So we could take a week off and go to both.
Yeah, you just stretch out. I mean, what could happen? What could happen if somebody with excellent health goes to back-to-back tournaments? Let's do this.
I think the Gemhammer one we're more likely to send multiple teams to, but we can send one team to BFS probably.
Well, I mean, go Lions. You know what we should do, guys? Please like and subscribe to the channel. Helps a ton.
Absolutely.
Love everything about it. Promote your stuffs. Hold on. 40K Lorecast. You know who owns that? This guy. I do lore. Love and Life. It's on Spotify, iTunes, whatever else, wherever else you get podcasts.
Brad, when are you going to start filming TikToks?
I already tried and I did a bad job of it, so I didn't put them up. Also, I need to figure out how Instagram works besides just putting pictures up or like a quick thing.
I also want to point out that Brad told me, there's yo, Lyle, you're going to be in charge of helping me set up my new Patreon when the new year started, and Brad just hasn't talked to me at all ever since we had that conversation.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going on.
Sounds about right. I have done a bunch of stuff. I have a new I guess we set up a bunch of stuff. I've been doing a lot of Lorecast stuff, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, most of my free hobby time has been getting ready for this team event coming up. So that's kind of been my focus. Is I really want to go win this. I have this weird obsession with anytime Kyle invites us down to North Carolina that I want to go win, because when I lived in North Carolina, I sucked. And I feel like it's just asserting my authority now.
Here's the thing. You said all that stuff about asserting your authority, really wanted to dominate. You know what I'm super excited about? Juice said he's bringing me a bottle of his favorite wine. That's the best thing that I heard since we've been.
Nice.
Lorecaster Brad, it's 100%. Yeah, exactly. I love the lore. This is how I got into the game. I'm a very big paradox of this. I'm an enigma in a paradox. So all of the things, some of the stuff. What do you got at the art store that's going on? I heard we're going to stream some games over there too.
So yeah, we're working on setting up a stream table. It'll be we're in the midst of testing everything because we just relocated our servers and did a whole bunch of stuff. But we're going to be trying to stream casual games on Tuesday nights, and then we're going to try and record once a week a competitive game. So that should be coming hopefully in March is the date that I have on my head right now.
So at the very least, I do have a stream table set up downstairs that Brad swore he would come help me set up so we could start streaming games on our channel.
No chance I said I was going to help set it up. I said I would use your stream table.
I was like, Brad, games. I don't know how to put it all. I don't know what we need. Can you come help me go through it? Brad's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's find a day.
I am down to needing two pieces of technology to make it happen. I need a stream switch, which is something that
and a warp drive.
And the other thing that I need a little better lapel mics. The ones I got are a little too tinny sounding, so I'm gonna get something a little bit better.
Here's the fun race, Brad. Can we stream a game before Horton?
Probably.
Is it possible?
As long as I don't.
That's the race
break.
now. We got to see.
Brandon.
If not, I will force Brad at some point next week to get on stream as we simulcast Palworld together. I will make Brad shoot a Pokemon in the face.
Exactly. Brad Many would place the train 100%. And screw you, man. My business card is awesome looking. Brandon, I heard that Still Frosty's doing stuff.
I am doing stuff. So
he's like, but I won't tell you about it or what it is.
I'm literally working on stuff right now. There's 50 Kroot sitting in front of me right now.
Brandon's got to get ready for that all Kroot detachment that they promised was coming.
Kroot party.
Brandon, I'm looking forward to those Kroot riders. Those things look amazing. I want to see
new ones that look like bears.
Yeah.
Gorillas.
Yeah.
Well, they have more mounted units coming out. They have Sniper Kroot coming out.
Nice.
All right. All I have to say.
Unless the Sniper Kroot is a Kroot rider on top of stilts, I don't care.
Oh man, KR is ending the stream perfectly. Just got a processed food commercial. Perfect for salty Brandon. On that, we're ending, guys. Queens wave us out of here.
Stay milky, my friends.